Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night even, depending on your location. This is NNAMDI Kanu Freedom Media Communications with Mr. Raf, an analyst. There are questions right now specifically being asked by the presiding, presumably, presiding chief justices or judges, at Abuja appeal court. Kanu should be going to court comes 27th of this month, 27th January 2026. And those questions were prepared by Abuja chief judges. So right now, Biafrans, Igbos, IPOB, every lover of Biafra all over the world are rejoicing and jubilating because these questions are made so lucid in the sense that Kanu must actually come out of Sokoto prison comes 2027, appeal court. The questions were 6 in number. If we started narrating the question here, I think it is even longer. It's going to be lasted more than the judge, appeal court, appearance itself. One question is, how did was Kanu brought into Nigeria? Was it legal that someone should be abducted from another country, which is against international law, United Nations, ECOWAS, and AU law? Did they bring Kanu into Nigeria by force, forcefully, by abduction or kidnapping? The question is that our rules and regulation, that is Nigerian constitution, does not allow illegal renditioning, whether by abduction, whether by kidnapping, or all that. If Kanu was brought into this country, trial in the past, all the court appearances, accusations, and charges in the past of NNAMDI Kanu, are they legal charges? Are they illegal charges? Those accusations are, of course, illegal. And all those court appearances are, of course, invalid. They have been debating this, for good more than 24 hours now. Because the appeal court in Abuja is going to be presided by some judges. Which, of course, you all know that Omotocho has been banned from taking part in any court judgment in Nigeria, any court judgment outside Africa. In fact, globally, Justice James Omotocho has actually done what has never been done before in the legal world. So that's why he is, globally banned to take place in any judgment, of course, in the world. So that's why these benches, bench of lawyers, bench of judges are still bringing up this question to make sure that none of them is indicted, to make sure that the law, both international and locally, will take its appropriate course. So that's why, is it legal to judge somebody in any court of law that was brought in or arrested through illegal means? That is the question. It's one of the 6 questions they are coming up with, which is very, very surprising to every Nigerian, especially the Igbo man. Because, of course, as I'm talking to you now, Igbo men, IPOB, Biafrans, every peace-loving Nigerian is rejoicing now. Everybody is hopefully believing Kanu should be released comes 27th January, of this month. So the questions have actually indicated that the judges that are about to handle the appeal court hearing of NNAMDI Kanu's case, they are all being careful to avoid indictment. It was a shocking indictment that James Omotocho actually read a script written for him by Aso Rock office. Of course, let me tell you, since illegal, victory of this administration, Nigerian Judiciary has been blamed. There was international outcry that Nigerian Judiciary is a stooge to the office of the presidency. meaning that Tinubu office is the one detecting to courts in Nigeria who to prosecute, who to jail, who to at least, set free. That's why I see judiciary this time, the courts, the judges, the justices, the SAN, each and every mechanism of our judiciary, getting very, very upset. Why? Because judiciary has been blamed when it was obvious Peter Greg Obi, the former Anambra State governor, under Labour Party, won an election, presidential election of 2023, on February, to be precise. So the judiciary and all its components are now blaming themselves, being very careful to avoid making another immense mistake. And this time around, we've seen how the so-called Arimowolo, RIP, he is late, the leader of Federal Government of Nigeria Legal Council, died unannounced because they are ashamed of themselves. Why? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cursed him and caused him that God is going to punish him and his children now and forevermore. What actually transpired was too obvious, that there are much illegalities going on in Nigeria judiciary. That's why they are being careful. They don't want a repetition of what happened when Kanu was actually badly judged, jailed, imprisoned on 20th November 2025. So that's why they are rehearsing how this appeal court is going to hold at FCT. They don't want another mistake. They want to revisit Kanu's case and make sure that Kanu is freed from illegal imprisonment. The issue now is he illegally brought into the country? The charges against him, are they valid or invalid charges? When Kanu was illegally rendition from Nairobi, Kenya into Nigeria on June 2021, it was obvious, 2020, sorry, it was obvious that every charges brought against him in the court of law in Nigeria is illegal, invalid, should be inactivated. Yes, deactivated. It shouldn't be a working law. Yes, it shouldn't be, because the forces that brought him into the country is not a legal one. It was a kangaroo justice. It was a kangaroo law. They actually took decision on their own. That was when Justice Abubakar Mallami was Nigeria Attorney General, at least, to be precise, Minister of Justice. There was much illegality, illegitimacy going on when he was an Attorney General under Muhammadu Buhari regime, the most uneducated Nigerian president, if not the entire globe in history. He was handling our justice, our judiciary system, our legal system, the way he likes, the way of Sharia, the way of Islamic ideology, the way they run mosque and all their Muslim, let me say, religious podium. It is obvious that Kanu was illegally brought in, charges against him are invalid, and no one, a competent judge, could not actually have sentenced Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to life jail. So this time around, James Omotocho is having himself blamed right now because everybody, every constituent of International Criminal Courts in Brussels, in Hague, International Criminal Justice, Court of Justice, they are all against that judgment. The judgment delivered by James Omotocho is an illegal justice. It's a justice that is bent on irregularities, let me say, substandardness. I don't know whether you understand, double standardness. A judgment that is based on tribal sentiment, political undertone, premeditated, judgment. So that's why the current justices that are going to handle Abuja Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case, appeal court in Abuja, are being very careful to avoid losing their legal pedigree, legacy, what they actually labored for many years in the school, of the school, should never be at least dragged in the mud. They are being careful. They come out with many documents and questions that Kanu's judgment was, adjudged illegally. It wasn't a true justice that actually, took place at the final hearing on 20th of November last year. Everybody, every component, lawyers, bench of judges that are coming to decide Kanu's case comes 27th January this year are being careful to avoid losing all their certificates, legal, competence in the past and present, and that's why they are trying to follow international law, legal jurisprudence to avoid further occurrence of what actually transpired at Omotocho judgment on 20th December 2025. Kanu is coming again to actually display in the court of law how competent he is in the legal field. This is Nwafo Igbo, an intelligent legal luminary. His name is Mazi Kanu, the illustrious son of Biafra land. The eagle is going to land again, comes 2027, and I assure you, that should be the last time Kanu is going to step his foot into any correctional prison establishment in Nigeria. Because this last appearance is going to be the last stroke. Stroke that's severe the camel's back. He laughs last, he laughs longest. This time around, we are trying to mirror the kind of bench of judges that are going to preside over Mazi Kanu's case. This time around, we want to know their profiles, if they are actually judges of timber and calibers. We want to know how they could handle this case. A case that was determined by organs of government, the judiciary, the legislature, and the executive, and they toyed with justice, thereby swaying justice for sake of illegal, wicked Nigerian leaders who are too wicked, blundering, predating on the blood of innocent Nigerians by stealing, embezzling public funds, public paid tax, cornering all of them into their various private offshore accounts in Europe, in South Africa, in UAE, and the United States of America. And Trump, being whom he is, a man of truth, a man of responsibility, a man of transparency, a man who has God's heart in mind. Donald Trump said no to bribery. He said no to $9 million bribe given to him, offered to him by this administration to turn his back on Biafra emancipation and even deny of Christian genocide. Tinubu has gone a long way to mangle the belief that American system has no blemish. But being that a man of God, a Zionist, an American Jew, currently is an American president, Donald Trump, he is not someone to be bought with money. After all, his father, Trump Sr., was a billionaire. And this current Trump Jr. continued from where his, disciplined father stopped. He's managing his father's business well, dancing, swimming in billions of dollars. So, Nigerian government bribery, $9 million is just like a chicken change to Donald Trump, the man CEO, chief executive officer of all the Trump Corporation, towers and hotels, high-rising buildings all over the world. He says no to bribery from Federal Republic of Nigeria. Listen, Donald Trump is not Alex Todd. Alex Todd collected money projects to execute, installation of all solar-powered establishment in and out the entire country called Nigeria. He is the current Finnish president. He deviated from following justice, as all the Scandinavian nations are well known. Scandinavian justice, Denmark, Iceland, Finland, Norway, Sweden, before they are the most advanced country in Europe. But today we see a different president, Alex Todd, or what is called his name, Stodd, or Stodd. I don't know, collected money and jailed Simon Ekpa illegally, and today that judgment is being reversed. Shame unto all these presidents, all these leaders in Europe, in Africa that are bent on reigniting, that is trying to revive neo-colonialism. Colonialism in the past, the second colonialism has come, neo-colonialism, funded by the French and the British. They are still there, making the black, you know, all of their natural resources. Trump is a different man. Donald Trump is Donald Truth, and we all love him. I am from southeastern Nigeria. My name remains Raphael Mbechiwell, bringing you live what is going to transpire comes 27th January to be precise, at Abuja Appeal Court. Kanu is stepping out. Biafrans, rejoice wherever you are. It is time for your freedom. The freedom of your illustrious son, NNAMDI Kanu, has come. The eagle is going to land, and he has landed. Thank you so much for listening. Share from my YouTube channel, like, hit the notification bell, come down to the comment section and discuss with me there. Subscribe from me. Remain blessed and a happy Sunday.